A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and the most merciful. Here we are again, Pakistan International School Taif, virtual learning system. I am your teacher Saeed Ahmad Lagari. So here is our book of social studies for class 6, which we are following. In the first chapter, the first part of this chapter we have completed already. The second part we are going to follow now. So this is our page number 5, which we are following today. So now I am reading and also I am giving you some explanation about the pages. Here in page number 5, if we are reading it, so here if we took a cross section of a Pakistan along lines A to B and C to D, look these two maps. From A to B we will learn, and also C to D. It would look like these drawing below. So these two drawings I am giving you explanation. Number first drawing from A to B, it shows us the Hindu Kush mountains. So these are the high mountains which are to be called as a Hindu Kush or Karakoram ranges. And after this, the region comes the Potohar Plateau region, which is to be a flat, and the third is a salt range. Here you can see the white dots are to be called as a salt range, and then it is a Faisalabad Plateau or Faisalabad Plateau is to be called, and then we have the Indus Valley, and finally the Indus River reaches at the sea at Karachi. In the second figure you are looking here, Toba Kakar range and Suleiman range and Indus Valley and third desert. So in the south are the deserts of Sindh and Balochistan. The third desert, which extends far into India, and the Thal desert in the Indus Valley in the north of the both Pakistan and India are. So look in this other map, which is the given us the location of different deserts. Here you can see the different deserts. Number first desert is called as a third desert. Third desert is located in a Sindh and exactly joined by another desert, which is to be called as a Cholistan. Its border is in the province of Punjab, and these are the final borders which are related to the India. These two deserts, which is one is the Thar and other is the Cholistan. The third desert, it is also be located in the province of Punjab, is to be given as a name as a Thal desert. And the fourth desert, which is in our province of Pakistan, in province of Balochistan, it is also be located in Pakistan. So this desert name is the Haran desert. So here it is clear the four desert which are to be given in Pakistan. So now in the other page, page number 5, we are talking the different things. Greater mountain ranges in the world. Now we are talking about the greater mountain region in the world. Here, this is the map of the different mountain ranges which are to be located in Pakistan and near bordering country, our bordering country, India. So here, these are the Himalayas in the east. Here, if we are following this compass direction, here you can see north, south, east, and west. In these, from east, if we are following this compass directions, in the east, here are Himalayas. Himalayas in the east, which merge into the Karakoram and Hindu Kush ranges in the west. The highest point is Mount Everest in Nepal. It is 8,848 meters high. So the world's biggest Mount Everest, is also been located in Great Himalayas. When the Great Himalayas, the starting point is actually is a Mount Everest, and its highest peak of the Great Himalayas is Mount Everest. Look at here. This is the picture I am giving you, sharing you the Mount Everest picture, and its height is about 8,848 meters high, and mostly it is covered with snow, and it is located in the region of Nepal. So in the other page, page number 5, the most important agricultural areas of Pakistan are in the Indus Valley. More than 3/4 of the population of the country live in the province of Punjab. It is about 55%, and Sindh 30%. These figures, 55% and 30%, which lives in the province of Punjab and Sindh, are to be given by the 2016 figures. Almost 80% of this region is irrigated by a well-developed canal system. In the Sindh and Punjab, there is a well-developed canal system. These canals come from the Indus River, and these canal system that uses water from the river Indus and its tributaries. This area has always been a fertile, producing the bulk of agricultural produce in Pakistan. So the lot of agricultural produce in Pakistan are in these two regions, which are to be called as a Sindh and Punjab regions. Now we are in the page number 6. In now separately we are talking about the geographical terms. There are some terms that you will read about in the geography. They describe the physical feature found on the earth. So earth's physical features are to be given in the geographical terms, and we are now learning these geographical terms. Here the first term which we are using as a mountains. These are mountains. What is the meaning of mountain? These are the highest lands. Mountains are the highest lands. There is a no fixed height at which a hill becomes a mountain, but mountains are usually above 2000 to 3000 meters. Mountains actually starting which have the height about 2000 to 3000 meters high, and those hills are mountains which have the height more than 2000 are called as mountains. Some mountains like the Himalayas or Karakoram are sharp or pointed. This means that in terms of geography, they are young mountains between 1.5 to 66 million years old. Older mountains have had their sharp points worn away by rain, forest, and wind, so that they are more rounded. So the mountains which have the sharp edges are to be called as young mountains. So like you can see here in this picture, it is clear. So these mountains which have the sharp edges are to be called as young mountains. And the mountains which don't have the sharp edges like this one are to be called as very older mountains. So in the page number, next page, which is to be given as a page number 6, here we are talking about the hills. These are lands above sea level, but not as high as mountains. They are generally covered with vegetation such as grass, trees, or farm crops on terraced fields. Look at here. So these from these pictures, it is clear from look at here. Hills are not bigger like as mountains. These are small hills, and here are small, and they are surrounded by the vegetation, and here they are surrounded with some trees. So these pictures are clear, and you can understand very well about the hills. Now we are talking about the plateaus. These areas of flat land well above sea level. Some plateaus are fertile while others are poor land. It depends on their height, amount of rainfall. So here are etc. Here it is clear these lands are to be called flat lands, which are to be called as a plateau. So in the next we are talking about the plains. These are areas of flat land at low level. Some are at sea level or slightly higher. The plains are important as this is where most farming takes place. So actually the living place where mostly people are living are called plains, and mostly vegetation or agriculture are to be taken place on these plains. So look at here, this is the one type of a plain, this is the other type of plain. Here you can see in the plain the one river is flowing through the plain of the landforms. So in the page number 7, now we are talking about the deserts. We have already learned in the last pages about the different deserts of Pakistan. Here we are talking about what is desert. These are areas where nothing or only tough plants can grow. There are hot deserts where the temperature is very high during the day. There is a very little or no water, or else the soil is too poor for anything to grow. There are also cold deserts called tundra, where the climate is too cold for vegetation. There can be found on high mountain tops or polar regions. So here you can see the figure of the deserts. So mostly in deserts there is a little rainfall and little water. So there is now much vegetation are to be taken place, and due to a little amount, only the tough plants can survive in these lands. And the deserts are also at the high top of the mountains are called tundra, where climate is too cold and there is also no vegetation. So here we are talking about the lakes. So here this is the figure of the lake. The water area is to be surrounded by the lands. So these are inland seas completely surrounded by land. Lakes can have either fresh or salt water. So completely surrounded by a land area where there is some water. These are called lakes. There are two types of the lakes: the freshwater lakes and saltwater lakes. Here we are talking about the rivers. So here in this picture, it is clear from the from the mountains, high mountains, the river is going to flow and completes a very great, so many kilometers it completes, and finally it reach at the sea level or at the sea. This is flowing or moving water. These can be tiny streams, or so some rivers may be a tiny rivers, maybe a few kilometers. After a few kilometers, it will be finished. And some rivers are to be a mighty rivers. Mighty rivers like as Amazon River, which flows in from the America, and the Nile River, which flows from the Egypt. You know very well. So these are rivers are to be called as mighty rivers. So they are, these can be a tiny streams or mighty rivers, many kinds, many kilometers wide. Many kilometer means they are like this, from one side to another side the water is flowing, is covered by many kilometers. So maybe 11 kilometer to 20 kilometers, like as the Amazon. It's a highest river, and it covers 10 kilometer to 20 kilometers wide. So, and the river Nile, it is also so very much wide. And the river Indus, which flows from the Pakistan, it covers so many kilometers. And after reach at the sea level, it's some areas it is wide, exactly 10 to 11 kilometers it is wide. So the water in river is fresh, because the water comes in rivers from the uh, high mountain ranges. When the snow melts and it change into the water, and it will be flow in the rivers. And also the rainfall which is coming from the different mountain ranges, and it gathered in makes some streamline, and then it will be changes into river. So the water in river is fresh, except for a short distance where they enter the at the finally they enter into the sea. So in page number 8 we are talking about, further we are talking about the rivers. So estuary, it is also it is word is also used for the rivers when they are to be finally coming into a bigger level. So this is where important rivers widen, means where the rivers are going to be widen are to be called as a estuary. As rivers widen as they enter the sea, when the rivers are enter in the sea, and they at the joining point of the rivers to the sea are called the estuaries. Estuaries can make good harbor for ships from here, because they are deep, and it provides the good harbor for the ships. And the other, talking about the rivers more about, and at the finally when the rivers comes from the highest mountains and come into the plain or plateau regions, the river changes into the delta. So where the water is to be spread into a wider land is called the delta. Sometimes when a river enters the sea, it breaks into many small rivers or canals in a V shape. Look at here. Here it is changed into the canals in a V shape. So these are called different canals of the one river. So the land here can be a very fertile because of the mud brought down. The mud which are which brought from the highest mountains, it the water brings some type of the mud, and the mud which is to be a very fertile. When it reaches at the land, so it will provide a good agricultural system. But it is also very liable to flooding at the last, because the lot of water comes and it will be sprayed. So when in the rainy seasons in the delta sites, there is a lot of flooding regions also been on this type of the delta regions. So this is end of our chapter. So our first chapter is completed now. So now I am giving you some homework. Now please note down your homework and send me it in my WhatsApp. So there are two type of homework I am giving you. Number one is the MCQs. So 5 MCQs I have given in this page. So you can complete these and send me on my WhatsApp. My WhatsApp number is given in school website also, and you have also been provided it already. And the second question is answer the following short questions. So these three short questions are given, and you will write its answer on my WhatsApp. You can send the answer of these questions in my WhatsApp. So thank you very much all. And today's first chapter of our social study book of class 6 is completed. So thank you very much all, and wish you all the best.